Chapter 7, Mishnah 5. The chapter has so far discussed the laws of a person who consecrated his own ancestral field. The Mishnah now discusses the law of someone who consecrates an ancestral field he bought from someone else, an acquired field. Since a person who buys an ancestral field can keep it only until Yovel, after which he must return it to its original owner, see Mishnah 1, it is clear that if he consecrates it before Yovel, it is consecrated only until Yovel, and it then goes back to the original owner. Since the buyer only had rights to this field until Yovel, he can only consecrate it until Yovel. The Mishnah discusses a case where someone bought an ancestral field from his father, and he then consecrated it. At some point before Yovel, the father died, and the son inherited the ancestral rights to the field from his father. The Mishnah discusses what happens to this field when Yovel arrives. Does it go to the son, or is it given to the Kohanim? If a person bought an ancestral field from his father, and then his father died, and after that the son consecrated it, the field is treated like an ancestral field, not like an acquired field. Although the son first got the field by buying it, since he inherited the ancestral rights to this field before he consecrated it, he is considered to have consecrated his ancestral field. However, if the son consecrated the field before his father died and then his father died, it is treated like an acquired field, because at the time he consecrated the field, he had not yet inherited the ancestral rights to it. These are the words of Rebbe Meir. The next two Tanaim disagree. But Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Shimon say, even if the son consecrated the field before his father died, it is treated like an ancestral field, as it says with regard to the laws of consecrating an acquired field in Vayikra, chapter 27, verse 22. But if he will consecrate to Hashem his acquired field, that is not from the fields of his ancestral heritage. The wording of this verse implies that it refers only to a field that is unfit to become his ancestral field. For example, a field that he bought from an unrelated person. Only in such a case do the laws of consecrating an acquired field apply. This excludes any field a son bought from his father and consecrated, even a field he consecrated before his father died, because it was fit to become his ancestral field when he consecrated it. Such a field is treated as an ancestral field, not as an acquired field. The Mishnah now teaches the basic law of what happens to a consecrated acquired field at Yovel. An acquired field that is consecrated by the buyer does not go out to the Kohanim at Yovel. Rather, it is returned to its original owner. This is because a person cannot consecrate something that is not his. Since the person who consecrated the field owned it only until Yovel, and then had to give it back to its original owner, when he consecrated his rights to this field, it was also only until Yovel, after which it must be given back to the original owner. The law that a consecrated ancestral field not redeemed by the owner goes to the Kohanim at Yovel is forever lost to the original owner applies to the ancestral lands of ordinary Jews. The law is different for the ancestral lands of Kohanim and Levim. Kohanim and Levim can always consecrate their ancestral fields, even during the Yovel year itself. This is unlike the law for an ordinary Jew who cannot consecrate his ancestral field during Yovel itself. Also, Kohanim and Levim who consecrate their ancestral fields can always redeem them, both before Yovel and after Yovel. Their fields are not given to the Kohanim of the Mishmar at Yovel.